The JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. If this is your first time checking out a video, please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. We're watching a clip of First Take, talking about Saquon Barkley. For some reason, this move has been very controversial with the Eagles signing Saquon. And Tiki Barber, an ex-Giants running back, has really came out and said, you are dead to us. And before this movie even happened, he said, you better not go to the Eagles. You will be dead to us. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And Saquon obviously took issue with that and was kind of like, screw you, man. Like, who the heck are you to tell me what the heck to do with my life? And it's insane because Tiki's like trying to act like he's, being kind of lighthearted because he's doing it with a big smile on his face, but he's obviously being authentic and real and genuine. And it's just a low class move to me from Tiki. Like, it's absurd, right? And this whole idea that he can't play for another team within the division or loyalty. I mean, get over it. It's 2024. Like, what are we talking about here? Okay, and like, he had to go where he was wanted and where he could maximize his earning potential and his winning potential, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. Is he not supposed to do that just because he played for the Giants, who the Giants failed him for years? They refused to pay him money. They didn't even offer to keep him. They didn't even offer him a deal this season. This offseason. They didn't support him. He had a bad quarterback his whole career, bad offensive line his whole career, no other weapons. They left him on an island. So this whole idea that he owes the Giants anything is insane. Is just utter absurdity. So I'm really curious to see what Stephen A has to say. And let's get to it.
Me?
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to say something too, but
No one cares what you have to say.
First of all, can I get the camera shot right here, please? I'm tired. I'm here. Thank you. Listen, guys. If there's history, Booger, Shannon, if there's history there that we may not know about or whatever, then Saquon had every right to respond the way that he did. If it's just based on what we saw, come on, man. That's a bit. I mean, Tiki Barber talking tongue in cheek. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Come on, bro. I mean, he wasn't volatile in any way at all towards Saquon Barkley. Now, let me say this to Saquon
yes,
Barkley right here.
What are you
Let me give you
talking
some
about?
notes on Tiki Barber because you brought up Lords and just things you may know because you're in the Giants organization. Obviously, I'm not, so I concede that. This is a guy in Tiki Barber. Over the last final season, his last final 5 seasons in the NFL, fellas, he ranked second in the NFL in scrimmage yards to LaDainian Tomlinson while playing all 80 games. Rusher for 10,449 yards, all-time leading rusher for the New York Giants in his career. Made only an average, only like $25.4 million over his 10-year playing career. Okay, we got to take this into account as well. Missed fewer games in his 10 seasons.
What does this have to do with anything right now?
Games. Saquon Barkley missed 25 games in 6 years.
well, he had injuries.
Okay. I understand he had injuries. I'm saying Tiki Barber didn't. In other words, there was a durability issue, whatever. The man has earned the right to speak on behalf of the New York Giants as an alumnus, as a guy who produced for them. Now, Saquon ain't wrong with what he's saying. The day and times that we're living in, I wanted to stay with the Giants. Giants sat up there and franchised me. They gave the long-term deal to, Daniel Jones. We get all of that, okay? And I think Saquon Barkley's going to be big time for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's a big time pickup. I got a lot of love for him. But let's not walk around acting like Tiki Barber, based off of that sound, strictly that sound we saw, that Tiki Barber did something wrong and disrespected him. He did no such thing.
He absolutely did. He absolutely did, because if you're saying that Tiki Barber is like kind of representing the Giants, he's kind of like a surrogate in that regard. He's essentially giving permission to all the fans and all the other people to be like, screw you, Saquon, we're dead to you, right? The whole burning of the jerseys and all this type of stuff, rather than him maybe calling out New York. If he speaks on behalf of New York, why wouldn't he call out New York and say, New York Giants, keep Saquon? Pay this man. He has done everything he can to help this team win and has kept them relevant and has done more for the organization than the man you paid in Daniel Jones. That's what Tiki Barber should have said. Instead, he said, "You're dead to me. You're dead to me, Saquon. You're dead to me." Okay, I don't care if he did it with a smile on his face. Any athlete, any person, any man knows that just because you have a smile on your face doesn't mean that what you're saying isn't 100% real and accurate. This idea, they're like, "Oh, he's smiling, so he's clearly joking." Like, oh, what are you talking about? Have you ever been in a fight? Have you ever played a sport before? Like, it's just like, I can't even comprehend how stupid people are when they're just like, "Well, he's clearly joking. Look, he's got a smile on his face." Oh, okay, sure, whatever you say. Do you really lack that level of social intelligence, Stephen A? Because it's just like comically stupid to me. But what Tiki Barber is saying is how he truly feels, and he's trying to say, like, because he kept saying a lot of times, like, we and as Giants, and you can go to the Chicago Bears, or you can go to the Texans, that's fine, but just don't go to like the Eagles. And it's just like, again, telling him that he can't pick a franchise that will give him the best chance to win, the most amount of money, which now impacts the rest of his entire life, and also now that he's going to be the best place to succeed, so also now affects his legacy, his ability to win a Super Bowl, his ability to get a Super Bowl MVP, to get into the Hall of Fame, to get all these accolades, to do all these great things. You're telling him that he can't pick this team because they're the Eagles and there's a rivalry between him and the Giants. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Okay? None. Zero. 100%. So, again, get over it. Grow up. Be a man. Mature. Like, what are you talking about? Are you a 14-year-old on the playground right now? Arguing over which Power Ranger is better? I mean, what do we even talk about? The fact that this is even a storyline is so absurd and asinine. And then to have Stephen A defend Tiki Barber and tell Saquon to pump the brakes is just absurd. I mean, it's absurd.
You just don't talk radio. Say we're done with it. That's all. It was a flippant comment. He was only joking around. Let's pump the brakes.
He's talked about it multiple times. It's not just a random off comment.
Because we talked about it a little bit on Nightcap, but I didn't have the context in what you guys just saw. And it says like he was saying it, like you said, Stephen A, tongue in cheek. But that's not how Saquon took it, because Saquon's taking it like, hold on, bro. How you going to say you dead? I've been doing everything I possibly can to get a contract extension with the Giants, but they didn't value me. This is what we know in business. In any business, the best way to show an employee loyalty is how, Stephen A?
Bam.
Money, money. Yeah. You can say all that.
And
he's a great worker.
Exactly. And years.
Booger,
Yeah.
you can say, he's such a hard worker. I never have to worry about Booger McFarland because I know he's going to bring his hard hat and his lunch pail. He's a guy on time. He keeps his head down. He keeps his ears closed, and he goes about his business. But when it comes time to get paid, well, Boog, the position that you play, Boog, I mean, we don't pay those kind of positions in this organization. Saquon's like, hold on, wait a minute, bro. I've done everything that you've asked me to do. I've been a great representation on and off the field of this organization. And when I'm on the field, now look what I'm running behind. We've got one of the worst run-blocking offensive lines in all of football. I get the ball, and I got to be Barry Sanders-esque because I got to charge 3 tackles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. And not going to pay me, but you're going to pay the guy that he's having success because of me? I understand that maybe people are so upset because it's within the division. We don't normally see that, Booger, but we can see it because it's free agency. You don't get to control where I go. Yeah. And Saquon is saying they gave me the years and they gave me a number that satisfies my thirst. I don't have a problem with it, but I can understand what Saquon is saying. Saquon was like, bro, now when you see me, now don't cheese in my face. But I think he's overreacted what Tiki.
I don't think he's overreacting, because now you guys are overreacting what Saquon is saying. Saquon didn't elevate this and say, "That's right, come see me, let's go. That's right, you better be ready next time you see me." Like, he wasn't giving him fighting words or challenge words. He just said pretty much like, "Man, if I see you, don't be smiling in my face. Don't be saying this nonsense and then just smile on my face and just like, hey man, I was just messing around. That's not how it works when you have the platform that Tiki was utilizing. And if he is speaking on behalf of the Giants, as Stephen A likes to put it, then he has a responsibility. And if he's speaking on behalf of running backs, then he has a responsibility, okay? Because if he really, was cheesing and just joking around and tongue in cheek, he would say, man, he is dead to me. He is dead to me, man. Yeah, man, he is dead to me. Nah, man, I'm just messing. No, congratulations, Saquon, on making all that money. Man, it's going to be tough to see you with the Eagles because I know you're going to kill it no matter where you are. Blah, 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 blah. Hopefully the Giants can get their act together and stop them. But if not, man, I'm expecting you to, put up 100+ yards on the Giants. Like anything. But that's not what he said. He said it on multiple radio shows, multiple times, multiple days, saying, do not do this, Saquon. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. He was trying to essentially, speak it into existence of him not going to Philly, okay? That is fundamentally wrong. And if he is speaking to a predominantly New York Giants fan base, he is now giving the massive fan base, the credit, the leeway to now just hate on Saquon. Which again, they're going to hate on Saquon regardless because he's leaving. But it's not his fault. He wanted to stay in New York. He wanted to stay in New York, okay? Last season, he could have sat out. He could have done all this stuff, and he didn't, okay? He took the deal. He did with the things that he needed to do. He took the short-term deal. He did the franchise. He did all that type of stuff, and he still wasn't compensated for it. The Giants have consistently done him wrong. That's the reality. So what do you expect him to do? What do you possibly want Saquon to do? Saquon doesn't own the New York Giants a damn thing. That's the reality. But what do you guys all think? Do you think Saquon and Tiki, shouldn't be going back and forth? Do you think Tiki was out of line? Do you think Saquon was out of line? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So if you think what I'm saying is the most ridiculous thing or the most amazing thing, let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be a part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.